I went through all of that by myself unmuted. We've got radio music queued up. We are ready to go. This is the car track combo I am working on. I give myself half-hour limit. I was in the 500s before today. Our previous best was a 209. A couple of pages. Couple of pages. Actually, where are we? I know I was at a 209. But now I'm at a 333. I'm going to keep going though, because I know it's not him. No, we pushed him down one. Oh, I'm so sad. Crazy used to be 420. I should have screenshot it, but I overtook Crazy and pushed him down to 421. That's so sad. I also know that's not actually Crazy QC, but I had a moment of a small, private, little sensible chuckle to myself that there's someone named Crazy with a K over on 420. We're going to go back down to 333 though. Session best, and we're going to grab someone who's set a 205. We'll go a higher 205, but aim for a 206, but see if we can beat it. I think I can get a 205. Who should we pick? The Wham? I don't know why, but I'm hearing the Sweet right now. And off we go. Welcome to what my hobby usually is when I'm not streaming. I play a handful of games. A lot of them are very niche, even ignoring demographics. But this has been my bread and butter. Bad start, but we're fine. Bastard of a car to drive, but... And we're dropping frames. The only problem with dropping frames in a game like this is that it really sucks because you lose your input. Take two. We have half hour to try and set a new best lap though, so we got some time. It feels much better taking that super slow. And again, we're terrible on the first corner. I actually might have to restart the game because I was doing a lot of fiddling on the sidelines while the game booted. It's probably not super happy with me right now. And with a track car combo like this, with a combo like this, I might have to restart it. It's actually dropping frames like this is not good. Not for hot lapping. It's fine if it's every once in a while and it's just a little bit here and there. But when you need every single frame of input, you can't lose that, especially not on this track. I did put loud filtering on, didn't I? Why is the game so loud even with that enabled? I don't know why, every other game, the tire lifts off and you go wide. This one, the tire lifts off the ground and you dig in for some reason. Something to do with the suspension model in the first game, but the front left tire leaving the ground seems to apply a lot more weight onto the front right, and instead of going wide, it just gets more traction. I'm not super happy with it, because I'm having to relearn how I take the dip. Finally, an okay exit. We're tied with our previous ghost, that's the guy who set a 205. Quick wham bam. So sideways and so much quicker. Never mind, we were just slow. Nice and clean over that crest for the first time today. Wide on the apex, very slow. Maybe it's not the front digging in, maybe it's the back letting go. I dropped a frame again. I swear, I just need to restart the session properly from scratch, or I don't want to have to reload all the ghost data though. Project Cars 1 has the worst menu interface out of the lot. And I'll agree with you there, Chris. The final corner at the bottom of the mountain is a nightmare, even if you're well versed. Even if you're well versed at this track, with this car, you still take the final corner sideways on the entry. Drop the frame. It's that bad. A single frame drop just kills you in this. Get off the bumper. Come on. Well, hey, it's us behind. What was heck? Caught up really well. That's me, but I don't remember what I did. Lap 2. We set at 2:07. That's our new best lap, so we have a new record we can take to the bank. We dropped off half a second. Just under half a second. We dropped another frame there, too. Slow. Wide, we slid. God, these frame drops are annoying. Absolute slide there. Come on. Brake, let go. Brake, you get down. Brake. That's a 3-part turn. It's very easy once you know how to handle it, but you have to know how to handle it. I've not got damage, so I'm gonna hold. I'm not restarting. We've got a time to keep here. But I need the game to get out of latent memory and back to active memory, please. I've got 6 gigabytes of VRAM, and every game just decides I need a new system memory, guys. That's faster than VRAM. Frustrates me because Windows won't let me turn off a paging file. I can hard lock it out of creating a paging file. It resets everything. Be so bad if I can move it to my media drive. The page file, that is. Because nothing's on my media drive except for like a couple of games. I broke way too early there. Look at that. Alright, we'll bank this lap. How are our tires doing? How worn is that front right? Why is that so worn? 180 though. And we dropped more frames there again. That corner hates us. So, I'll try and explain a little bit. While we're banking a lap here and just keeping it nice and clean and cooling down our tires a little bit, I'll go through the process of actually driving down the mountain as I go through it. Here you've got flat out. You have to run wide and brake. There's a little white marker on the right-hand side, you'll see. This one is tricky. You need to be in 5th gear in the V8, drop down to 4th, and then accelerate. If you don't dip the front of the car down, you'll lose traction. Brake, shift down here, let go of all pedals, and then you brake a second time before left, and you brake a third time before right. Never brake and turn at the same time. That's the way people get killed down there. This is usually flat out. But flat to the floor. Now, this one I recommend braking early before the 100 marker there, and you sort of have to very carefully feather your brakes before you take the left-hander. And that's the angle you want to aim for, but it's very tricky because if you lose traction, you run wide and you have to take a backup angle. You usually just end up taking the whole corner wide, really. But the first bit of the mountain on the way down is brake, let go of all pedals, don't accelerate, don't brake. And then you turn right, and then you pull up straight again, and you do the same thing, turn left, and then you brake again, turn right, and then you're free. The rest of the mountain is really easy once you get the first 3 turns. fact, we'll go again. I'll bring up the pedal data. At the very top of the screen, you can see my pedals. I might actually have to restart the game. I'm dropping way too many frames. Gear, downshift over the crest to 4, drop the front back down, get the grip around the corner. Now here, brake, let go, brake, let go, brake, let go. Not the super cleanest, but it was okay. And then you're fine. The rest of the hill is flat out up to this corner, where you probably want to brake earlier, because once you go over there, you lose a lot of traction. And then you're clean. It's a two-step process, and there's only 2 pressure points you have to worry about, the very top of the hill and the very bottom of the hill. Anything in between should just be easy riding, foot flat to the floor, just make sure you have the angles. Alright, let's go for a proper run. I'll try not to get myself distracted by my own pedals here. If you actually do want to try this track car combo out, a good sim will make this car very difficult to drive. You want to be foot flat on the floor on the exit, but bear in mind you will have to counter steer because at certain spaces it's gonna let go. Especially over crests and bumps. This thing does not have a lot of downforce. Get off the bumper and stop dropping frames. That's straight up damage too. I'll restart. Let's go down the mountain at least though. I think I'm still clean. Not for a lap, but for damage. I'm just dropping frames. Look at this. That's not the stream, that's me. I can't do that. Okay, we're gonna restart. Normally, I have a nasty habit of braking very late for this section and coming in a little sideways and missing the apex. I do really think because of the straightaway here, you actually gain a lot more from being very more careful going into the final turn and braking that bit earlier just to keep the car stable. Make sure you hit the apex, don't run wide. You may still slide, of course, because it's not a very nice corner, but give yourself every chance you have to make sure that you're actually lining up the apex properly. Even if you take a wide entry, make sure you hit the inside of the corner so you can floor it on the way out. Missing the apex is terrible. Because if you can't get your foot flat on the floor for this straightaway, you will just end up losing a ton of time over here. Usually, I aim for that sign right there should be 135 or quicker. That's a good time. Like, that's an amazing time, let's be real. 135 or quicker and you're possibly competing with the actual real-life world record at that sign. I forget what my... I keep mental tabs of different spots on the track and the times I reach them. I've actually genuinely forgot what the one previous is. I think it's 120 something, but I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've done the track. But you should be at about 135 when you get to this point, flat out. And you can lose an entire whole second on this back straight if you get the entry wrong, if you get that final corner. Let's save and quit though. What did we actually end up with? 27127. We're a second and a half behind the WAM. And we are almost exactly half a second in front of our previous best time. I will reload in before we reboot the game. I will just reload in from the menu, and hopefully not having other programs opening and fidgeting with a bunch of stuff will help it actually load and not stutter. Best in session. We're gonna go find the WAM again. WAM. There you are. WAM. Where's that button? And we're at a 207 flat now. I'm in world records. Hang on. There we are. We dropped another 100 spaces down to 242 with that lap. If we can beat the WAM, are we in the top 100 actually? If we beat the WAM? I don't recall what position he's at. I want top 200 today. Pretty okay. We're still dropping frames though, so it might have to be a complete game restart. Were my brakes just cold, or was that a terrible braking line? A session restart for sure. Those bumpers are absolute murder and I don't know why. I don't honestly know why they're there if they just slip. That was me missing the corner entirely. We'll take a practice run. Don't need to get it on the first lap. Brakes are very cold here too. Missed the apex entirely there. Good lord. Drop down a gear over the crest, forward around the corner, and then brake. gear down. Brake, gear down. Brake, gear down. Lower it to the next corner. To here, rather, to the end. Make yours going slow enough and smooth enough that you can start throttle on once you've hit the apex of the corner. It's a very late throttle because you're still going downhill. You sort of ease onto it, but if you haven't hit the apex or you're not taking the right line, that's a very tricky corner to get the exit on. But I'm already quicker than my ghost ahead here, see? What I'm not able to do is that corner. Because time and time again, I miss my braking line. I need to find a visual indicator there for a better braking line because I'm using the darkened tarmac, which isn't reliable. Lap 2. These bumpers are murder. Why are they there? Ooh, look at that. Oh, never mind. I thought I was quicker than him, but he's just in front of us. Sake, these bumpers. Doing terribly anymore. I'm just tapping a bumper and sliding. I did lose a couple of frames on the way down, so I'll give it another go. If I'm in front of the ghost, I might even turn ghosts off and just chase time. If I turn ghosts off and chase time, I can focus more on my braking zones and making sure I'm hitting my markers. It might stop the frame drops, because I think the frame drops are kind of related to the ghosts, because it doesn't seem to be as bad when I'm in front of them. There. There's two of me. went super great on the throttle out of there, but we're almost the whole second up on our previous best. He's so smooth on this bit here. Look how much time he gains. But look how much time we gained. 206.14, that's a whole second. That definitely gets us top 200 for sure. Absolutely, we no longer restart, we keep going until we crash, and then we exit, save and quit. Oh, there you go. But hey! Let's find out where we are on the leaderboard. Because that's my goal B. I think I can still get a 205. We're only 0.14 away from a 205. But I don't think we're going to beat 205. It'll be a 205.8 at best. Although that being said, I do think there's time to be gained here by cleaning up my braking lines and making sure that I get a good angle into this corner here. That left-hander that I keep sliding out on is what's costing me a little bit of time. This corner here as well. There's the slide. That's what you don't want. You don't want to slide. That last corner is also costing me a bit of time as well. I don't want to be so early on the brakes that I just end up losing all of the time I gain going down the mountain, but... Where are we on the leaderboard? Because I think that's enough for Bathurst. We've reached 206. That might put us... Are we on top of... No. We are lower hundreds though, so we dropped another 100 rank. Where are we? We dropped another 100 rank. We're down to 140. 206.135. I will crack the top 100, but it's gonna take me a little while. I probably need to tune the car a little bit better. Watching the brakes sort of not warm up that entire track is concerning to me. I don't feel like I should be struggling to keep the brakes warm, but I also don't think I want to overheat them, and I don't know how to tune that. I also need a better car. Like, this is the one I'm driving, and I don't know how to change the skin. How do I change what skin it is? Tires and brakes, engine, gearing, diff, damper, suspension. There's no choose your look. But since I've set up my isn't it? Is it not GT? Must be touring. There it is. I can pick. You can pick. You can pick. Right, so long as you save a setup for a track, then it isn't random anymore. Oh, I wish I knew that years ago. It's been one of my pet peeves with this game. I do have a bias towards, there's one color here. This one, I really like this color scheme, but also green though. Green and white. I'm gonna go with my color. Where's mine? There. Select the model. Edit. What do we have? Steering ratio of 10:1. And I think that was about it besides the brakes. What is the brake duct? Open the brake duct more to aid the cooling of brakes if you find that overheating, but out on track. Be mindful that this may have a side effect of increased aerodynamic drag. I want them to be like a 62. They are cooling down slightly too much. In fact, 68 might even be fine. Brake balance 2. 54, I'm gonna keep it because I don't lock up very much, and it's at the point where even if I do start to lock up, it's a really nice balance. This game's probably a little forgiving on locking up brakes though. It gives you a lot of leeway between starting to lock up and actually locking up. Whereas I feel like reality is the exact opposite. Once you start locking up, it just flings the bar in the other direction, where the threshold to lock up just plummets back the other way.
Turn left.
Good morning, Gradgar. Hope you're doing well. Traction control slip's not applicable, and I think the rest... Honestly, we don't need to change the downforce. What we need to change is the gearing. 6th is actually the longest it's possibly going to be. But I don't think, like a gap that big, I don't think you want to mess with it. Really, I just want to tweak 6th to have a little more top end, right? Because you've got 2 straights that could absolutely utilize it. But that jump there, for the final drive, I don't think is worth it. Engine, we could probably drop the fuel. See, that's, okay, so... This is one of the things I don't like about Project Cars 1, is all of the setup, all of the prep work, and all of your time. If I hot lap, I use this setup. If I race, I use this setup. So why would I have a race setup with only 20 liters of fuel? More fuel allows your car to run for longer, perfect for endurance racing, but at a detriment to performance due to the extra weight. For short sprint races, aim to cross the finish line with an empty tank, bearing traffic, circuit length, driving style, and potential pit stops. Which, the only good outcome to this would be that hot laps ignore the fuel load entirely and keep it at a flat 5 or something. Which a couple of games I played do. When you're hot lapping, they keep you a flat 5 fuel. Thought it'd be funnier while you're in game menu instead of driving. You're doing well though, Gradgar. I hope you've had a good night's rest, or are intending to have a good... I hope you have, or you do. Increase the amount of additional throttle applied to the ECU to provide some rear stability on the head. We'd understand. No, I don't... Brake mapping is... We're leaving that as default. And I think that's it. So... We're going to... That one. Shit, okay, I just tuned it a little bit. Did we go one more? We're almost top 100s. You know what? I'm not even gonna load another ghost. We are just going to do, yes, another couple of laps, but without ghosts. Up all night messing about on YouTube and about to crash like that time you took a Porsche to Finland. I only crashed once, and I don't remember it. That is to say, I remember it happening. I don't remember where I crashed or why. Alright, we're gonna get back to chasing Delta. So, we hit the 4 at 8, just below 19, so we'll call that 19. doing myself there, touching the bumper, I just let go of the throttle. Well, I have good news and bad news. It's not the ghost that's killing the frame rate. That's much better down the mountain. How are we doing for time? Because the Delta says we're 42 seconds off. And I don't think we're 42 seconds off. We are 36 past that. I don't remember what I said it was before. That slide kills me every time. I need to not slide there so that I can just smooth turn out and keep my speed up for this bit. And then not miss that corner entirely would be nice. That could have been a fast lap, but we messed up at the end. Still at 2:06, so we definitely lost a lot of time there, but we definitely made a really good lap, actually. And too much throttle. Right. Take two. Jack's clip, it wasn't a crash, it was a flip. Which you convincingly drove out of. Right? No fractured spine or anything. Very slow here, again. Very wide there. Very nice through there again, though. Very frame droppy through there. Very smooth on the exit, though. Nice. Kind of okay on the actual exit. The Delta timer says we're 45 seconds slow again. And we've got another 136 there through that. What did I say that was a 133? Was a good time. Easier on the throttle there pays off tenfold. And I keep missing that apex and the line. What is that, a 205.9? Told you. I said I could get a 205 something. How are the brakes doing, by the way? Brakes are nice and warm at the front, but still a little cold at the back. Very slow. Bear in mind, we have a lot of time to gain going up the mountain here. And these frame drops are probably not helping. I wonder if they're taking time out of my lap. Alright, here we go. But it's breakneck speed. If you miss any of those corners, you're probably dead. Better corner, better corner, better corner. Look at the ghost in our rear view. Look at that loser in our rear view mirror. Eat shit, because I can outbrake you coming into the final turn, or the final complicated bit. You are nothing. Eat PP. I just need to nail this. No, he caught back up. Go away! Yeah, that's what I thought. Come on. Come on. Where are you? We lost 100th of a second. I also love with setting laps in this car now, because this is probably one of my favorite. Where's the camera button? I think I bound it to C because I didn't want to press it accidentally. Oh! Okay, that sounds gorgeous. We lost it, we lost it. Look at this car. This is probably my favorite skin. Nice and silver. Nice angles. Good color palette. I think later years it ended up being more pink, but you can see in certain lights it does come off pink. Could just be the lighting engine. Later years, the red did go more pinkish though. It's like kind of not flat red. You can tell at the front there. It's red, but it's like that 5 hue hint difference towards purple. Oh, I forget. Some people probably can't tell. Either way, 205.8. I said we could hit a 205. I'm leaving it there. What's the next car track combo we should try though? We need to do something else besides just Bathurst for sure. We've got... You know what actually? Can I camera rotating? Alright, we've got a couple of good color options here. The blue, red and white, really nice. Very dark blue too. The purple and gold, however, is a real classic. I quite like it. It's not super fancy, but it's got that color tone of like, yeah, I've got money. You've got black and white, blue and white, sorry. Wait, why are they loading different? Okay, so that's blue and white. That's the template. Those are static. If I go to the other side, it's a different color every time. What? Oh, it says random. It says random. Okay. Do we have anything? Oh, we've got the nice pastel color palette that I used to use. And the dark tint that I do love from the era as well. I think if we are going to pick a color, it's going to be... Oh, red and gold though. That's nice. It's like a red and cream, maroon and cream. It says burgundy vintage and gold stripes. That's a bit gaudy, but I can see that being something you would see at a car show these days. Classic, nice. They just got lime green with black, what do you call it? Trim. And I don't hate it. That's really nice. Good green apple, but it's just fine. I'm pretending it's not light. Blue and flames. It's a color combo that makes the flames work, even though I don't normally like them. But the blue, especially here where it's... I don't know if that's just the paint type, or if it's actually painted so it's lighter at the front and darker at the back. I think it is the paint type. It's the lighting. Dark green. Red and white. Ooh, with the stripe across the back. I thought that was a Dodge thing. But I think this one or this one. And I really do quite like the purple and gold. I'm torn! I gotta do this one. I'm sorry. Great new setup. I'm gonna leave it all as default. We're not changing a thing, but we're creating a setup for all tracks. Now we have a color. I never knew that was how you picked color. All these years. Off we go. From one Ford to another. It's a H shifter, but it let me paddle shift. That's weird. We got 4 gears and we're going to use all 4 of them. It also don't turn too good, because I'm still used to the tiny rotation of the tourer car. Off we go. Do I have helmet cam? I do have helmet cam. Let's use this obnoxious thing for a little bit. Look towards Apex sounds like such a brilliant idea, but if it's not in VR, it's distracting to me. It's cinematic for sure. I cannot use the same braking lines. Good lord. Like, look towards Apex is a fine idea in practice, but the less it actually happens, the better I can focus on where my car is physically. Also, why don't I actually have helmet cam and helmet cam? Am I not wearing a helmet? Oh, I've got one of those leather helmets on. Okay, I cannot use the same braking line, so I'm going to brake before the jump. That's probably not a second gear corner. This definitely is a second gear corner. This is going to be sketchy because there's a lot of slidey parts over crests here. Okay, like presto. Alright. You have to take that entirely differently, apparently. You know what's great? Cars that don't have power steering, they don't change when you turn the engine off. It's just as easy to turn with the engine off as it is with the engine on, because there's no power steering anyway. I actually don't know if the 2x2 fastback, the family Mustangs, I think this is the 67 model, but I actually don't know if this thing came shipped with power steering, because I was surprised it came shipped with coil spring suspension in the rear. I wasn't aware coil spring suspension was even an upper market thing in production line vehicles. Not back in the 60s. Even into the 70s. Bread and butter of what most cars you think of for a police force in the 70s all had rear spring leaf suspension. All those movie 70s chase scenes. But to be fair, I've never actually looked up models specifically from those things. Because it could be very model specific in that era. I took my same old braking line and actually made it. Wow. Maybe I've got more brakes here to work with than I thought. I feel like actually lapping in this thing, you gotta get it sideways if you're competitive. The tail has to slip out a little bit, but not a lot. Needs a little bit of oversteer. Alright, what's our best time so far? There's no on-screen... no dash to tell us delta or anything. Apparently that counts as a lap, so let's bank it. I'd be worried if my brakes are squeaky after one lap. What are they doing? Just a casual 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, they're fine. Casual 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't think my simple math conversion tricks are gonna work with those sorts of numbers. Double it and add 20 might not be the case. It's a little too fast, but hey, hold it. We caught up and lost time. Nice. Okay, here we go. I need to be in second gear around there. Dropping the first because I missed the line I normally take. Right, out we go. I don't know how we're doing against that ghost, but we seem to be parallel with them to some degree. So all we have to do is not crash or go off track. And we gain— oh, no, we're faster. Better exit. Look at that. Little wobbly, little wobbly. Next. If we hadn't taken that corner so wobbly, we would have been fine. It was the line up into the corner. For some reason I lost traction. Are my tires small or something? Kind of. I don't know what performance the Ferretti Super Belt measure at. Oh, like what temps they measure at, but I feel like 220 on most tires is going to be too warm. Nice clean run onto the main straight. So let's just do a simple lap. We don't have to do anything crazy, and we've already got like a whole second gap on our previous best. Come on, come on. That's not good. Very slippery crest there. I don't know why it lets go so early up the hill. I feel like we should be fine until we hit the crest. Well, we lost our session best, but we'll just have another go at it. Okay? We don't need to do anything crazy, we just need to not go off track. The bare minimum so far has not been met. But we'll continue. No damage, just cosmetic. We'll keep going. That's a little bit of damage, but we can work with that, and that's a terrible angle. Take 3. I might need to get something a bit more zippy around here, maybe a GT3 car. I do love the Mustang, but it's way more my style to take it out on a long stretch of road, like the California highway, and just try and floor it as fast as you can, sideways around most corners. Wish we could do that later on. I don't know that feels any better in second there. can't drop a frame and tell me I missed a gear game. Alright. Now... that's a bit better. I need to just bank a lap. Once I've got a single lap through, I can find out where I'm on the leaderboard. Just don't run wide, and we have a lap here. It's not super great, but it's a lap. I'll even turn on the HUD here. I don't want the mirror though. It still runs a little wide. I need to be careful there. So we're gonna set a 240. $246. 7. Alright, can we do a good lap? Can we do a good lap, or are we banking a 246? I think I was just too slow that time, but I'm still quicker on the exit than the Ghost for some reason. Nudge the wheel with the back just to stabilize it from sliding. That was scummy. And we're gonna get a sub 245 if we don't miss our braking line here. And I think we can still clean it up a little bit. So let's get rid of our HUD and focus on that. Stop chopping frames! I need to see what I'm doing. I spent so long off the throttle just because of all those frame drops. So sad. And I missed my braking line there. So mad about dropped frames, I wasn't even paying attention to where I need to brake. One more. We don't have damage, so let's keep going. We only exit if we crash, and we haven't yet. We know we're quicker than the last guy, so let's just keep going. Nice, that's the cleanest I've been up that part. A little wide here, but we're fine. We're still fine. We're still fine. Bad loss straight away, but we lost about 0.6 of a second and we still haven't even claimed this lap yet. So a theoretical best is gonna be, well, our practical best if we end this lap is gonna be slower than our theoretical, but I'll take it. Still slow there, but I just need the lap. A little late on the brakes again, but much better that way. Now look at us. That's a 2:45 flat. Almost a 2-second improvement. Well, I didn't do that well at all. Oh, Rabs, it doesn't spin. Come on. It just isn't spinning. And then I can't exit it properly. It's crazy that I can do donuts better in F1 2020 than I can in this game. Well, it should be stupid easy just to go in a circle on this. Either way, yay! 2:45.099. We need... I need something that's easy to have fun in. That car's fun, but it's a fun challenge, which requires a lot of restarting. 2:45. We are almost in the top 10. Bad first entry. So, I think we need to take this thing out onto California. Where's my best? $807. So we're gonna chase Simpson's donkey. Good luck. Donkey. And will I do that? Very important change. Yeah. Very important change. It'll be apparent in a few seconds. I'm driving. It's a H shifter. Okay. Have a handbrake at all? Oh, if I could stop dropping frames right as I change gears, please. Thank you. Alright. Dropping so many frames, why? It does have a handbrake, but it doesn't. It has a handbrake, but I don't feel confident that it's doing a whole lot of braking. Pretty sure this car in real life has a steering wheel rotation of 1,150 degrees. I'll stalled it, because every time I hit handbrake it dropped the frame. This track is nightmarish. Hey Solar, welcome in. I'm not having fun. I can't do anything if the game's dropping this many frames. Can't change gears if you're gonna drop frames, game. Come on. I'm literally losing entire seconds to a frame drop. Good lord. Game. How are you going, Solar? Alright, here we go. Not good. Brake way too early. Kind of an off day, but pull through. How have I been? I've been well. I'm sorry to hear your day's not going super good though. Alright, we'll just chase a ghost. That's the equivalent of my best time to date. Never mind, we disqualified us. I do not get why I'm dropping so many frames. I mean, I do. I bought the game as it opened for boot up time. Its precious own boot up time is interrupted by me doing lots of other things, so... Maybe it just doesn't have handbrakes. Wait, maybe that's why it doesn't feel like it has handbrakes, because it doesn't have handbrakes. I thought it did though, it sort of slid. I can confirm it does not have handbrakes. Or I've not got handbrakes found. No, it does have handbrakes, they're just not doing it. They really aren't doing anything. I can outdrive my own handbrakes. Somehow almost still took that faster than the guy we're chasing. He must make up a lot of time in the future part of the track. Super excited. Tomorrow night, Bambi Cakes and I are going on a concert together. Who are you seeing? That'd be really good. I haven't been to a musical performance. I actually went to a combination live performance of Queens of the Stone Age and 9 Inch Nails. Years and years and years ago. They were touring together. But I haven't been to see one since. Prior to that was the Wiggles. I hate knowing how I need to take a corner and not doing anything I know I need to do, and then running wide. It was an amazing show. I'm not a big 9 Inch Nails fan, but they were headlining Queens of the Stone Age were the startup, the warm-up, and 9 Inch Nails were the main performance. But the Queens of the Stone Age stuff was gorgeous. I absolutely loved that. If I ever got the chance to go again, I don't know who I would go see these days, because there's a lot of artists I would go see in a heartbeat, but they don't tour in my area or in my country even. I would go see Clipping tomorrow if he was in town, but he's an underground UK artist, so he's never gonna come across the seas. Not just for me in Charborg. Still have the pot on. I don't live in the UK. If I did live in the UK, I would go see Clipping. Clipping is a UK artist, but he's never gonna come across the pond to see me. Maybe he'll get big and do a US tour. That would be really, really cool, actually. I don't actually know how big he is, really. Flip Turn is the name of the band? From Florida. I actually haven't heard of them. Alright, here we go. First iffy bit. We're clean, we're wide, we're wide, we're wide. We're still okay. We're a little fast here though. We're through fine. We're not through fine. I love dropping frames randomly and ending up at a different part of the universe. Oh! I'll have to look up Flip Turn after though. There's very little music I won't listen to, and I always love finding new artists. Anything that isn't pop, or that I haven't heard on the radio, always willing to give a go. I mean, if I'll listen to 5 Star Hotel, I'll listen to anything. Noise featuring percussion, I think is what I ended up calling that. Recently moved to Colorado. I'm dropping so many frames. Why? I've got like 7,000 frames this one race. Come on. Come on. Over the jump. Yep. Indie alternative rock? Have to give him a listen. Alright, here we're gonna take a better angle. There we go, look how much cleaner that was. So tricky to do when I'm only being able to see what's happening about 30% of the time, or I'm losing info about 30% of the time. Okay. We're past the first sector, so let's just try and get a lap in, shall we? We're quicker than him on corners because he's driving like a normal person. He doesn't know the power of this rallycross vehicle in disguise. They have a band camp. Come on. Green car caught up. His normal driving outperformed my crazy wild driving. We're driving the same as the guy behind us. It's just the Ford Focus RS from 2005, I think is the model, the year. We're very wide there. He may have got the faster angle. And here's the tricky bit where we die. We're fine. But how did he go? The 2005 RS should be an i6. It's got a little bit more get up and go. And it's got 6 gears. Found that out by paddle shifting. Front-wheel drive, inline 6 engine with 6 gears, I believe. With a bit more get up and go than its i4 cousin. Thankfully, you can't blow up the engine as far as I'm aware in hot lap mode. The ghost caught up again. Ah! There's a barrier there. You wouldn't really think Ford Focus in racing, no, because it's way more tuned to something like rallycross, which this is effectively a sprint rallycross race. Where's the ghost? Kind of annoyed he's keeping up with us through that corner. I see the ghost, he's just in front of us here. We are actually par for par. I'm going to take a little bit of an odd angle here. Well, shit. No brakes because we're sideways. No control because we're sideways. One more. I actually don't know if Subaru have anything in this game. Which is surprising because of the rallycross element they've got here. I really hate how the handbrake just does nothing. That wasn't nothing. Why can't it do that normally? That was nice. I wasn't expecting it, but that's what I want to happen. Wide here. Yeah. Much counter steer there, but I need something with a little more get up and go. Focus is okay. It's if you want to learn how to throw a car around a track, the Focus is great because it's not got enough power to make you do crazy things, but it's got just enough power to pull it back from spinning out of control. What you would upgrade to after the Focus would be this one. It is the 95 Mitsubishi Lancer? Let's have a look. Oh, a lovely green. It is manufactured in 1999. A couple of years later than I thought. Probably the equivalent to the Impreza in this game. Neon green is a really nice color. Ew. Custom livery. And honestly, I do want Rally Red, but I need these. I need these Tommy McCarran edition. That's the one I know. It's got a couple of different paints. But I want this one. I want to put laps down with this car. Let's actually have a look. We'll just create a default setup for all tracks. Where is the Ford Focus 2009 model? So a couple of years after what I thought again. It's a straight 5, not an i6. It's an i5. Probably not helping anyone who knows computers here. All-wheel drive, front engine, straight 5, with 300 brake horsepower. to. This has less horsepower? And less top speed. That's way a little less, but I guess horsepower isn't how you measure how easy something is to control. But this is probably the closest we have to a Subaru in the title, sadly. WX literally stands for, well, it could stand for World Rallycross, I actually don't know. That's what a handbrake should do at low speed around a bend. I say low speed, but I'm still doing like 30 miles an hour there. That's a cut, but I'm gonna keep going. Dash lights on. Oh, not that it really matters, because I'm dancing on the steering wheel. I've already cut, but I feel like that was another cut that would have disqualified the lap there. So was that? So was that? That might have been. There's actually a bit of a trick to that corner. If you're driving like this and you're not actually trying to keep a smooth line, there's a bump and you want to lock the brakes after the bump and dip the front of the car around. It's a little while back, but I can... God, 900 full degrees of rotation and I never get a better workout than in this car and this track. But it's a blast. They definitely have, I think they put Subaru in the 3rd installment, but that one doesn't run with Logitech wheels. Could have been a smoother exit, but that was a nice entry. Gotta get back to work. It was good to see you too, Sola. Hopefully see you back online a little bit with some more free time. To know both you and Bambi are doing well, though. Ah, I tapped the wall. Now this one doesn't have 6 gears, it only has 5. I know that off by heart because I've changed to 6 way too many times in this thing. To find my 4th gear. I think that's a cut too. Now, I'm gonna try and... hang on. There's only 5. Clutch paddle shift did nothing, so... 50 flat out across the bridge. Ease off the throttle here. Try and get as close to the barrier as you can. You want a nice smooth line coming up to this crest because it's also a left-hander. Let off the throttle at the yellow sign, brake a little bit. You'll slide, that's fine. Drop back to 4th and take this corner at an angle. Usually in 5th gear at an angle. It's really fast and it's really scary. And it's going to take a fair bit of practice and a bit of knowledge on how to control a car sideways, I suppose. Because really that's all you're doing. But it's a bit of loss of control as well because of the bump. Final sector. This is the 3rd part of the track and probably has one of the trickiest sections because there's a whole lot of map knowledge you need to go into this section and not crash. The jump here is fairly simple, but if you don't get it right, you can lose a lot of time going into the next part. I take it at that angle there, lines me up with the line. You come in here, you do need to drop down a gear usually because you will slide there and you need to line back up here and get the car settled around the corner. This one's a little interesting because it curves in, so you can brake fairly late. You don't need to turn in like you expect to, seeing a rock wall there. But so long as you hit the apex super late, then you're fine. Coming out onto here, this one's another blind one. You do need to slow down a little bit and make sure you keep inside because there's going to be a bit of a curve coming out. You switch left across the bridge. Flat out up until you get to the right-hander. Brake immediately after the right-hander here. A lot. Because you'll lose traction over that dip. It's terrible. It's the one place that still kills me if I get it wrong. Then you keep fairly slow, usually about 3rd gear through here on most cars. Most road cars at least, 3rd gear. And then the last tricky part is not running wide and hitting the barrier onto the main straight as you shift up into 4th onto here and you've got the straightaway. One last terrible, terrible section that'll get you killed. The last part of the map that will get you killed. If you come up here, I'll even show you since we've already lost the lap time. I'm going to take this like you would normally expect. You've just got the inside line. You're like, oh, this is great. We'll just take the inside line here. Uh-oh. The car's wobbly because we took the jump sideways. This game... You die? No, okay. The game punishes you for not lining up jumps. So, making sure you actually attack that corner at the last bit so that you end up completely straight with the jump, with the road, by the time you hit it. Otherwise you will end up throwing your car around quite a bit more than you assume. Especially on some other cars that aren't as well balanced as this thing is. one more go. One more go, and then I'm gonna have to head off. All right. And you don't miss the corners. A lot of this car is braking late, turning and rotating the car around the corner, getting it a little bit sideways, and pulling it out of that. So this is a good example, because you brake late here. You kind of lock the front up and you get a little loss of grip, but not a lot. Same with the Ford Focus. This is a very aggressive driving style that'll destroy your tires. I don't recommend it in a regular race, but for these sprint rallycross style events, I absolutely love it. It's great fun. Slow down a little bit there. This one's another good example. So you brake at the slow, very hard, drop gear, brake again. It should rotate the car around the corner pretty nicely. I love a couple of corners coming up too. If you know what a Scandinavian flick is, that can help you out a lot on tarmac where you don't normally lose traction as well. Sort of rotate it around certain corners that are a little shorter. Get the extra rotation you need. Even just the suggestion of flicking the car around with a light bit of shift of the weight from wheels left to right, etc. can be what you need. I missed the apex there, but that one tightens very late. It's a very deceptive turn. Took me a couple of tries to get used to it. Same with this one, very deceptive. Third gear. Always third gear, especially in the Mitsubishi. Road cars, I use gears to denote speed, but gears are way easier to remember for me, even though they're not they are car specific, not general advice, so come on. Very wide there. That slide was terrible. Now, I need to get this fine, because I think last time I got myself a DQ here. I'm going to slow down to 4th. Turn in sharp. Try and balance it over the crest. As long as you don't go into the dirt, I think you're fine. Then we've got the bridge. Keep close to the wall, don't touch it. You don't want to bounce off, especially on the faster cars. Hitting that, bouncing you onto the outside wall pretty easily. Coming up to the actual tricky part of the track. This one killed me. This is the second part of the track rather. This is the second part that always got me killed practicing this combo. Because it's really fast, but it's really dangerous. Come up here, take a wide entry, and you let off the throttle. Counter steer. And you can stay in 5th gear, but that's just about it. Nice, simple, clean. keep it fast, keep it clean, keep the car balanced, don't brake too much, or you'll throw the balance off, especially when you're sliding over that crest into the left before you make the turn off. This one here you can brake fairly hard, ease on and off the brake, and then just rotate the car very nicely around. You could probably end up going wide here and coming in shallow like this for a better runoff. I never tend to, but I should. I feel like going wide and then coming back in is going to be better for your time coming onto this straight because it's a fairly long piece of road. The quicker you can get to speed, the better. So having a sharper angle at the apex and going wide at the apex instead of narrow is probably better call. I always line it up for the yellow. Now, it's a low fourth in the Mitsubishi here, but be very careful because it's a bit bouncy and a little slippery. Fifth over the crest. Slow back down to fourth. Don't brake. Come back in narrow very late. Or come back into the apex very late on that turn. Back up to fifth, and we're probably going to drop back down to fourth here. No, staying fifth. A little bit of a slide, that's not intentional. Fifth, all the way to the bridge. This is where we crashed last time, so I'm going to slow down a little bit earlier, but after the right-hander, braking fairly aggressively. The game does terrible justice for going over crests that long. And then we're in fourth gear. This is where the one wide thing happens. We didn't DQ, but that ruins our speed onto the main straight. That's what you want to avoid. Fourth gear running wide and sliding into the barrier. Because now we've lost a couple of seconds purely just to getting on this road as quickly as possible and flooring it. We don't have a sixth gear, so this isn't going to be a new record. But, hey, it's a lot of fun. Throw the car around the track. Go crazy. You don't have to be road friendly, road legal, or even race legal half the time. Now this one I come in narrow, I straighten up, and I keep it straight. I showed you last time what happens if you take that corner wonky. And it's much worse than other cars. The Mitsubishi is way more tame. There are some cars where you take that jump straight and you will bounce 3 times and you will struggle to keep that thing on the road because every bounce offsets the car a little bit more and exaggerates what imperfections you had on launch. Every bounce gets worse, bounce gets worse, bounce gets worse. But there you go, you sit an 8:04. That's actually a new best time. You want to save the result of the session? Yes. Oh. A lot of my bread and butter is sprint racing and doing dumb stuff with niche cars or not track cars, I would say. So we set 4th place. Where were we before? We said 4th place. What was our time before? I remember looking it up. I just don't remember what it was. I didn't realize we were that fast, considering how much time I lost on the final straight. I mean, we wouldn't have changed our standing on the leaderboard. The best I think we would have done if we hadn't crashed into the barrier on the last straight would have been an 8:03. But hey, top 5. I'll take it. I think the only other one I know I can improve on is going to be a zero coast. We better go down to M. Hang on, up to M. Alphabet. It's the long tail here. Because that blank spot right at the top is my world record. I think that's my time there. I know I can do better. I'm not going to be able to get a ghost data, but if we save our replay, we should be able to use that instead. We've only got the one long tail saved. And Formula A is going to be too fast, isn't it? But let's chase it anyway. Last race of the night, of the day. And I'll be jumping off after this. This one is less chaotic, but the reason I know I can improve my time is because I cannot tell where the limit of the car is, so I'm being very cautious. I set the world record, right? For this game specifically, I've set the fastest time with this car on this track. But I can't tell where the car is giving me messages or just being old. This car is very difficult for me to read what's actually happening and what information it's giving me. It's something like the 67 Mustang 2x2 Fastback. Easy. I know exactly what's going on because it exaggerates it all through the suspension. I know where the car's balance is, I know where everything's happening. With this, I don't have the slightest clue. Have the slightest clue what the car is trying to tell me. It feels like chaos. It feels like I'm about to get stabbed at any point. Also a bit wider than I remember it being. Not too much over that, both tires left the ground, so disqualified. I swear, I'm gonna set my H shifter to third gear so that I actually take off in third gear. And then I can paddle shift my way through the rest of the gearbox, fine. That's very slow. Okay. This is... I struggle with this car. I cannot tell what's going on. We're wide. Okay. It's slow, but we'll stick with it. Getting audio popping too. This is so... Okay, at the time limit, we need to do a lap within the next 15 minutes. If we haven't completed one in the next 15 minutes, I'm just gonna have to call it. Because I don't think it's gonna happen otherwise. fuck's sake. I can't tell. I feel like I'm driving blind. I feel like I've got no feeling in my hands and legs. It's so hard to read what this car wants from me to not lose control. I feel like I can give it so much more because I feel numb. Like I have no data input, so just do more until it starts sending me information that something's about to go wrong. But then it just snaps and all of a sudden I'm doing 400 miles an hour sideways into a tree. Like that. I was feeling like I was letting the back go a little bit there. I definitely think second gear is meant to be used for low speed cornering, and you're just meant to floor it out. It's got a fair amount of torque to keep up that idea too. We just barely didn't cut too much there. But that, like you just, tiny little bumps and it's all over. It feels so fragile and yet so sturdy. At the same time, I feel like I can give it so much hell, and yet when I do, it just randomly decides to snap. Ooh, I also, that too, like I just can't. Being in the center of the car for some reason is making it really difficult to try and figure out how wide it is. We tapped but didn't hit, so I'm gonna... So many frames there. Alright. Here we go, over the next bit. That's probably the cleanest we've done that to date. Like that. It's sliding at low revs in second gear, but I don't get any sense of that. It's like a Formula 1 car without... Even Formula 1 cars give you like a lot of feedback though. This feels really bizarre. It's so fast though. Worst part of this track here is terribly unoptimized. Bounce off all the tarmac, all the bumps, every single little bit of corrugation. Oh, I made the first gear a little better with this tuning ratio, didn't I? I forgot, I've actually tweaked the gear ratio for this setup. It does feel a little better. Bounced off the curb there, but still kept it. Hey Lilac, welcome in. Come on. Gotta keep this thing. Like skimming rocks across a pond. This is Project Cars. It's a little older, but one of my favorites, and probably it's the best in the franchise, personally. But I don't think the franchise is setting any standards, but I just like this one because it does a couple of things that are really nice. Good suspension feel to the wheel, and double down on that, good suspension physics in general, because it's one of the few games that actually makes you think about how to land a car. Most games are just like, hey, you're in the air, we're just gonna make this perfectly smooth landing for you. This one is one of the only games where you bounce. And that's terrifying. It's all nerdy car stuff, but you gotta balance. Same as a motorbike. You lean forward, you lean backward, you lean sideways. Cars are the same, you just don't lean, but they have balance. And when you take a jump very, very wrong, you can also end up very, very sideways. Project Cars 1 was released in 2015, I believe, but it had DLC release in 2016. And it does take a little bit of getting set up, but you can't take it and run it out the box, unfortunately. It's got some terrible settings by default that you have to get rid of. A little wide, slow on the throttle. Forgive me, I'm focusing really hard. This is the final sprint. Final part. God damn it! What was my time? I haven't set a blistering time. That was the best one I could have. One more. Apparently that lap was disqualified anyway? Question mark? Where's the ghost data? Oh, we don't have ghost data, do we? Because we do stuff like that. I do apologize for the frame drops. The game isn't running super great, but this is gonna be my last attempt. And my last race for the day. I do need to head off and do some other things. Actually, having an accessible first gear is so nice. Lost a bit of time through there. Lost a bit of time through there. To be fair, that was an abort kind of crash waiting to happen there. Sideways into the church almost. Okay. I do like second gear for takeoff too, when it's split a bit better between first and second like that. Bit of wonky. Bit of oversteer. Okay, this lap is not going to be faster than the last one. Even though we weren't disqualified. That's a crash. That's a crash. Okay, that's fine. Final attempt. Final. Look, okay, I'm not gonna say final attempt and then have you drop 3 frames right as I'm trying to make a very delicate part of the track. Come on. That was terrible, but we're not aiming for perfect, we're just aiming for better. Wow. Out of all of the things we've done today, this is the thing that I'm breaking a sweat out on. Last time too. right. So focused right now. No, 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 no. I don't know what the time we set that we're meant to beat is. I'm just gonna go as fast as I can, see what we get. Clean. Very clean. Okay. Ah, 6:12. We cut 6 seconds off. I save and exit. Save and quit. Yes. I am starving hungry. What did we do for the 6:12? So I knew I could improve my time. If memory serves me correctly, time we posted was at 6:24, previous best. So let's have a look. If it's still blank, we didn't beat it. 6:24 is the best. Weirdly, I think 6:12 is one of our best. We've got 8 minutes 14, hang on, 6:17 there, and a 6:26 was the previous time we posted. That was absolutely quicker. By almost 10 seconds. I still think I can improve it. But if you do want to verse me, unfortunately, no ghost data, and for some reason this game bugs out a little upload times, and I am in first place. I'm just blank. In fact, I can even show it. Let's go. Oh, my wheel is warm. Do a coast. Pick the vehicle. We were in a long tail. Show leaderboard. There it is. 6:12. So that was the new best. Set today. Our assists. Driving Mono Pro. Setup. We have a custom setup now. We've actually tweaked the gearbox. Look at that. We're on the wheel. Camera was in car. Steering assists off. Braking assists off. ABS off. Traction control off. Stability control off. Damage disabled off. Automatic gears off. Automatic clutch off. Driving line off. Pro mode. We absolutely have the record here on this track. I think it can be improved. A 612 with that car, it is so hard to read and it's a challenge to get even that. But I think it's very, very possible to do. I think a sub 6:10 is possible, given I tapped the wall a couple of times, and I definitely think there's some tricks to that track that you can abuse. Oh, what's my overall best? Is that actually my overall best? It would be the Formula A, wouldn't it? Hang on. Can I just click me? No, that takes it to my profile. I want my... It'd be so cool if this actually managed to get the ghost data. Oh, it's got sector time too! Sector 1, 223, 947. Sector 2, 219. Look at that. So you can even see the different sectors. I make up a ton of time. So the guy in second place seems to lose almost all of his time. He's basically on par with me. He loses a second total through the rest of the track. But at Sector 1, he has a whole 10-second gap in Sector 1. To be fair, I've driven that track so much. There's a very, very thin line through the starting section. It's very fast, but you have to walk a tightrope to be able to manage it. With slower cars, it's a bit more, you know, you get a bit more leeway, but when you're driving things that fast, it is hairline accuracy to get through those sorts of narrow gaps. Because if you go too narrow, like you see, I bounce off and hit the wall. If I go too wide, I hit barriers and signposts and total the car. Right. There's no way to get the ghost data though, that's so sad. And I know there's a way to look up specific user stuff because I was using that a little while ago. Is that the number 2? Oh no, hang on. I'm thinking of this one, but this one doesn't have the first game, it's only got the second. This one lets you search for specific users. My name, right there. My stats. I can filter by class. Okay, so where's road? You've just got all of the road classes. Road E is the Ford Mustang GT 2x2 Fastback, and one of the absolute nightmarishly fun cars to drive, the Porsche 959S. It was surprisingly fun, but oh lord, was it a nightmare. Found 53 lap times. Apparently my fastest is in Monza with a 207 in the Ford Mustang GT and a 2-minute flat in the Porsche 959. We have road Is it Road D or Road C? Road D is that car. Road C. Where's the Mitsubishi? It's not an F, is it? Oh, hang on. There's the 2x2 fastback. It's actually got the full name. Your rank is part of the best 20%. I do love that it tells you, actually. This was... Hang on. Next. Right, so I still have to change... Okay. So this was the time I set in the second game. A 2:02.141. I'm in the top 10%, not just the top 500, the top 10%. I didn't realize I still had to... Trophy? They had trophy truck? So... It's Road D, right? Oh, yeah, because I have realistic assists on, so some cars will have the assists enabled. Road B? No, if we're up to the Lamborghini, there's no way. Where is the Mitsubishi? There it is. Default setup in the top 6% at California Highway full with an 817. Did I beat that today? I think I did. Oh, was it yeah, it was California Highway. I have beaten my best time in Project Cars 2 in Project Cars 1, which arguably has a more complex handling model. That was something that threw me... Like, I played the games backwards. I bought Project Cars 3 and genuinely was a bit disappointed. Then it just crashes to desktop. Every time I start the game up, it won't start. The devs have abandoned it. I say abandoned, but they only promised a year of support anyway. So they got the year of support, they released all the extra content, and then immediately after they stopped releasing patches for Project Cars 3, there was a driver update for the Logitech G Hub wheel, which the game just doesn't run. It loads the driver and crashes the desktop. So if you have a Logitech wheel, you can't play Project Cars 3. I don't think you should get it anyway, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I rate my racing games on a scale of like worst to best, and if it's anywhere in the top 50%, I think it is worthwhile. Project Cars 3 is in the top 50%, because below it you have kind of trash fire games to drive like Forza, and games that just suck on wheel and they make a fun game miserable when you plug a wheel in. But it's a big hurdle going from a controller to a wheel. You can't go back. It's a completely different thing. You feel numb. You don't get as much information. You can't do the things you would normally be able to do. There's so much more control over every single input. Going back to a controller is fine. It's absolutely fine for games like Need for Speed Underground, Need for Speed Most Wanted, right? Because those games, most of the time you're using stuff like slow-mo. You know, like you don't need a wheel, it's not super realistic, and you're not going to get all the information you would otherwise get. But fewer arcades versus anything that tries to get the wheel audience in. I think Project Cars 3 was okay until it stopped working. Then it was no longer okay. That was when I went back to Project Cars 2, because I was like, well, I still got an itch and I need to do something. So I went back to Project Cars 2 and tried to create career mode, and I was like, okay, I'll play through career mode of Project Cars 2 instead. I need to get my racing itch. And I did, kind of lost interest. It was okay. Ended up hot lapping like I always do. And then decided, you know what, I'll reinstall Project Cars 1. I'll go back in time and I'll just find out what the original was like. And in hindsight, it's the best of the franchise. It may feel absolutely different depending on what hardware you have, but for me, it was night and day difference between having a very sim-cade Project Cars 2 with a very simple handling model. Not simple as in you could do it on a controller with raw input, no. Simple like the physics engine itself does a lot of heavy lifting to make sure you don't need to know the intricate details. But it's still leaning towards the sim audience in Project Cars 2. It wasn't pure arcade like Project Cars 3 where you can actually do faster laps by just handbraking around every corner. I don't mean like, you know, because that's what I was doing today in Project Cars 1, but like you shouldn't be able to do that with GT3 cars. No way should that work with a GT3 car, but 3 does. 2 doesn't. You need certain cars with certain setups. 1, it's absolutely tricky to do. But I've rambled on enough. I think we're gonna have to head off and find someone to raid. Alright. Who have we got? I need... Where is it? I need my Steam browser. Right, so let's find it's on Planet Zoo with Game Baked. Very Transient is walking outdoors, science channels online, relaxing melee only permarun. We're gonna go say hello to Game Baked. He's honestly a good time. He's very, very chill vibes. And he's got a lot of stories. It's a great place just to hang out and chat. He's playing through Planet Zoo from start to finish. Oh, would you know? He went live 2 minutes ago, so there you go. I'm gonna say hello to Game Baked. I found him through Red Dead Redemption online roleplay service. He used to do Wild RP. I haven't seen him do it in a while, but he has a really cool character. He's a medic hunter? I'm not sure, but he knows a bit of first aid, I think, and a lot of his business is hunting. But no, absolutely. He's doing Planet Zoo a lot at the moment. He's playing through from start to finish on a fresh save currently. I'm gonna go say hello. If you want global emotes, we have those. If you have the fancy animated ones, we've got those too. Or, for 100 channel points, you can go down into the channel points section and buy that gorgeous face. It's a bit loud, isn't it? You can go down into the channel points section and buy that gorgeous face for 100 channel points, and you can put whatever emote you want there in the middle. I use Stinky Glitch as an example because it's honestly the best emote on the planet. At least as far as global emotes go. But I'll see you over in Gamebakes chat, and I'll see you later this week.